Good morning, everyone. You're tuned in to Wham Wairarapa on Arrow FM, Wairarapa's community radio station. You're listening to me, Hayley Gastmeyer, and I'm here to tell you what's happening in the region for this week. I think the date is the 8th of June. And I've got a couple of guests. My first guest is going to be Michael Wilson, our favourite Arrow FM manager. He's going to be talking about a Yarns and Barns event that he is hosting. I think he's... we'll let him tell you about that. And then we've got Anne from Age Concern, Anne Merrill. Anne Merrill. I can never say her last name. Anyway, she'll be coming in to talk to us about something that Age Concern's up to at 8:30. A little bit late today. No surprises there. I think it's 8 minutes past 8. And it's Friday morning. It's wet outside. Take care on the roads if you're driving. It's pretty slippery. But I think the weather's going to brighten up this afternoon, which I'm looking forward to because it seems to have been wet all week. And chilly too, eh? All right. Okay. So we've still got there's a couple of days left of Yarns and Barns. I went to two of the events last week. It was awesome. I went and saw Kerry McIver and Lorraine Downs. So Kerry McIver's a funny radio host and she's an MC and she's been writing columns and she's written a book about running a marathon. She's been around since I was a kid, so for years and years, 20 years odd. And then Lorraine Downs is the former Miss Universe, and they had a really nice chat at the Copthorne last Friday night about their experiences in life. So that was interesting. And then on Sunday, I went and saw the media debate with 5 local media faces, and they talked about the direction that journalism was taking. That was really interesting. It was a packed audience. The Carterton Event Centre was, all the seats they had put out were full. The people had to stand. So that was successful. So there's been heaps of great Yarns and Barns events. It's such a cool festival, and it's every second year, isn't it? So you've still got a few you can fit in a few more until it comes back in 2 years' time. So True Crime comes alive with Cynic Temple Camp. Now, this is at the Greytown Town Hall today from 12:30 until 1:30. An extraordinary look into the world of crime, science and forensics. With wit and wisdom, forensic and coronial pathologist Dr. Cynric Temple Camp lifts the lid on some of the most fascinating cases he's worked on during his 30-year career. These stories are featured in his book, Cause of Death, and it's $8 for adults and $5 for students. This is something that I'll be into, but I'm going to be at work, so I can't make it. Okay, so did I tell you that's at the Greytown Town Hall, 12:30 today. True Crime comes alive with Cynric Temple Camp. Now tonight, if you're into some boogieing, you can go and see Mr. Emerald at Club Wairarapa at 7:30pm. It's going until 11:30, so that's when it closes, I think. It's a great night of music, dancing and humour, something for everyone, and everyone's welcome. The South Wairarapa Veterinary Services Kiwi Ball. This is at the Carterton Event Centre tomorrow. Kicks off at 6:30pm. It's R18. Now, the South Wairarapa Veterinary Services, so I think that's known as South Wairarapa Vets, they're hosting the charity ball, the Kiwi Ball. Promises to be a big night of entertainment, fine food and dancing with the aim of raising $10,000 for Pukaha Mount Bruce. Their platinum sponsor, Zoet's Kind Donation. Gosh, I can't read that. I don't understand what this means. So someone's kind donation is enabling them to run a competition provided for your entertainment involving the vets of South Wairarapa Vets, who will be trained in ballroom dance by the Geraldine Inder School of Dance and Drama. I see, so it'll be like Dancing for the Stars, but dancing for the vets. There will be a silent auction on the night with huge prizes from Pukaha Mount Bruce and a number of other very generous sponsors. And after this, the live Wellington-based band Mojo kicks off and is performing for 4 hours. Now, 100% of the proceeds is going to go to Pukaha. So please come along and help raise as much money as possible for this truly worthy charity. EFTPOS facilities are available on the night, however, cash is preferable. Buses will be provided at the cost of $10 from Masterton and from Featherston, passing through Greytown, and they will return again at 12:30am. So to book your place on the bus, please contact katie.grant at swvets.co.nz. So that's katie.grant at swvets.co.nz. And if you have a group of people wishing to come along and be seated together, then please let Katie know on that same email address, and a table will be reserved for you, and it's tables of 10. Okay, so back to the beginning. South Wairarapa Vets are hosting the Kiwi Ball to raise money for Pukaha. It's at the Carterton Event Centre tomorrow from 6:30pm. It's R18 and tickets are $60. Now, if you want to get your ticket, then call 0800 buy TIX. That's 0800 289 849. Or you can get in touch with katie.grant at swvets.co.nz. Okay, excuse me. All right. Now, I think our friend Michael's going to be popping in soon. Do you know what? He's making me a coffee. How lovely. Writers at Aratoi, a book showcase. This is happening tomorrow at Aratoi from 9:30am. Now, it looks like it's all day. So you can go to all 5 for $25. All 5 authors speaking. Each author will discuss their latest book with question time from the audience and then signing afterwards. So it's $8 for each event, or take 5 for $25. So 9:30, we've got CK Stead. At 11, Charlotte Grimshaw will be speaking about her book. Catherine Robertson will be speaking at 12:30. Michelle Acourt will be speaking at 2. And Tom Scott will be at Aratoi from 3:30pm. So that's happening at Aratoi. It's the writers at Aratoi, a book showcase on Saturday. That's tomorrow from 9:30am. So the authors again: CK Stead, Charlotte Grimshaw, Catherine Robertson, Michelle Acourt, and Tom Scott, and they're on from 9:30 every 90 minutes. Now, the Beat Kitchen is going to be at Tikaranga Vineyard in Martinborough tomorrow from 11 until 4. I've had food from the Beat Kitchen and it's darn good, using the freshest ingredients. And yeah, they have a different menu every day. They just have it up on their little whiteboard. It's just a little food truck. But boy, their food's so tasty. So 11 until 4 at TK Vineyard tomorrow. And they are there on the second and last Saturday of the month. And you can you can have a glass of wine as well, since you're at a vineyard. And there is gluten-free and vegan options. So if you're at a loss of what to eat tomorrow, head to Martinborough. More specifically, the vineyard, TK Vineyard. Okay, so the Wairarapa Farmers Market, that's every Saturday from 9 until 1. It's outside the Farriers Bar and Eatery in the undercover section of the car park. And then on Saturdays also in Featherston there's the Fresh Produce Market. That's from 8 until 2. That's on State Highway 2 behind the car park. It's sort of in a gated section behind the Baker and Lang's Pharmacy. Now, the Carterton Farmers Market is on Sundays at Memorial Square from, I think it's about 9 until 12:30ish, 1ish. And then the car boot sale, which also has fresh produce, that's on the corner of Chapel and Essex Street on Sundays in Masterton. So lots of fresh markets for everyone's pleasure. for everyone's fridges, I should say. And doggy treats, pop-up doggy deli, that'll be at the Featherston Market tomorrow. And you know what the doggy deli is, eh? It's made with the freshest locally sourced human-grade ingredients, treats for your doggy, free-range, grain-free and gourmet doggy treats. If you want to know more about that, you can just Google them. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, Doggy Treats NZ. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get Poems on the Vine. I don't know if this is a Yarns and Barns one, but Poems on the Vine, Beyond Jerusalem, Gladstone Vineyard, this Sunday from 2 until 4. Bill Manhire and Glenn Colquhoun? Oh, I don't know. Might have to ask Michael. Bill Manhire and Glenn Colquhoun, very sorry if that's not how to say it, introduce their favourite James K. Baxter poems and also read from their own works. So Poems on the Vines, this is Beyond Jerusalem. That's the name of the event. It's at the Gladstone Vineyard on Gladstone Road, Carterton, on Sunday from 2 until 4. Adults are $12. Students are $8. Now, every Monday, there's a pub quiz at the Empire Hotel. Thank you, Michael.
Haley?
Yes, where's your coffee?
I thought I want to have my muesli with it, you see, and I thought it would be a bad sound munching muesli on the radio.
But this wouldn't be the first time.
Well, no, all right. But I've decided to be good this morning.
Fabulous. That's good.
Hi. Sorry, I interrupted you. You were saying...
I was talking about the pub quiz in Featherston. It's at the Empire Hotel. It's every Monday night from 7 until 9:30. And you can sort out your own team or you can call 06308 9540. That's the Empire Hotel's number. And you can ask them to put you in a team. So that's the pub quiz every Monday night, 7 o'clock at the Empire Hotel on Johnson Street in Featherston. Now, I've got a few more events to get through, but let's go back to the one that involves you.
All right.
All right, so Yarns and Barns, the Great Debate.
Yeah, Yarns and Barns, as you know, is every 2 years. And I seem to be getting the job of adjudicator. I've been doing it maybe 4 or 5 times now.
Wow, how long's Yarns and Barns been around for?
A long while. I don't know exactly. David did mention at some event the other night and I promptly forgot, but it's been going back for a while.
Wow,
Yeah.
Such a cool event, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So many things happening.
yeah.
Yeah, so this one has got some very funny and very highly respected authors in it. Mm-hmm. It's been broken up into men's and women's teams, which I don't think acknowledges the whole spectrum of everything that occurs in between those two sexes, but what the hell. Leading the men is Tom Scott. Now, anybody who doesn't know who Tom Scott is has been living somewhere else. And even if they've been living somewhere else, they might know of him. So what can I say? He's a very funny guy, great cartoonist.
He does
great
the cartoons
commentator.
for the Dom, doesn't he?
And he's been doing it for ages. In fact, in about 1974, when he got his first listener cover cartoon, I was flatting with him at the time, and I said, Tom, please, can I just make a little mark on it so that I can say I contributed to the cover? So it was a picture of the guy who was running the Commonwealth Games at the time in Christchurch, vaulting over a hurdle. And Tom, because I'm really bad at drawing, allowed me to make a little kind of line in the bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, so there's Tom.
I'll have to keep my eye out for that. I'm just noticing that it's me on the screen, and where are you?
I know, I need to talk to Toby about that. It seems to have the voice activation. Radio listeners, we're also on the telly. Not right at this moment, but we will be. But it doesn't seem to be cutting to the guests anymore.
Oh, no.
We'll get it fixed. When I say we, I mean Toby, because he knows what he's doing.
Okay, you'll be the facilitator, the fixer facilitator.
Yeah. So also on Tom's team is Carl Stead. Most people know him as C.K. Stead because he's been writing novels for just forever. In fact, you could say that he's partially responsible for Sam Neill's fame because his book Smith's Dream was turned into a movie that Roger Donaldson did. Was it Roger Donaldson? Called Sleeping Dogs, which was, big film.
Yep.
And that was Sam's breakthrough movie. Then he went over to Australia and did My Beautiful Korea. Don't know that one. And I think that got him a lot of international recognition. And then it was Jurassic Park and everything. So, yeah. And also is Bernard Beckett on that team. And Bernard is very dynamic. He's a teacher at Hutt Valley High. And he writes lots of dramas. He writes science fiction, for young adult science fiction. He's been very, very successful. And on the women's side, that part of the spectrum for people who identify with the XX chromosome, there's Michelle Acourt. A lot of people, because it looks like Accord, wonder how to pronounce it, but she
just
says
straight up
Acourt.
Acourt, isn't it?
Yep. Michelle's been being funny for just donkey's years. I remember her in the 80s back in Wellington when she was just starting, and she did a lot of theatre sports when theatre sports first came to New Zealand, and she's been doing stand-up comedy and been on the panel and she writes books. She's done heaps of stuff.
She's written a book at the expense of her daughter, I think.
Yeah, sort of, what is it, stuff I forgot to tell my daughter.
Yeah, I interviewed her a couple of years ago about that, and she was darn funny, and she'll be a great, hilarious mum.
Yeah, she'll be great. And also on that team is Charlotte Grimshaw, who is also C.K. Stead's daughter, so that should be interesting. Who wouldn't give their arm and a leg to have a go at your dad in public? So that'll be fun.
Fantastic.
And she's a really well-known author, and she's done lots of novels. I'm reading her latest one at the moment. It's called Mazarine. And then Charlotte Robertson. And Charlotte, apparently Catherine, Charlotte Grimshaw, Catherine Robertson. Apparently every one of her books has been number one in New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you think of one of those books?
Yes, Gabriel's Bay is one I'm also reading at the moment. Slightly more towards, I don't know, you wouldn't call it romantic fiction, but she certainly knows about love stories, and that's what the topic is all about. So,
well, it says the year of this year, the topic is women write a more compelling love story than do men.
And as I say, what about if you're right in the middle of that spectrum? What kind of love story do you write? So we've got to think of everybody.
You're gonna throw that spanner in the works, aren't you? Put them on the spot.
Yeah, but as the judge, you've got to keep out of it to some degree. But
okay.
I got to have a few jokes up my sleeve.
So you're judging, but you're also gonna egg them on, are you?
Oh yeah. When you introduce them, you've got to have a bit of fun with them, and you've got to set up the rules and all the rest of that sort of nonsense. So that's on 7:30 tonight at the Carterton Events Centre.
Oh, I'm so keen to come.
Yeah.
That's tonight. I was just thinking, what could I get up to? How can I stay out of trouble? I could come along to the Great Debate.
You could, yeah. And there's a bunch of stuff tomorrow because those writers that are in the debate are also at Aratoi.
I just went through that one.
Oh, good on you. Well, you do that.
I've just explained that one, but I'm really glad that you told everyone who all those people were because, your knowledge is far vaster than mine.
Well, only because I'm in it. But I do know some of these people anyway, because I've been around a bit longer, Hayley.
You've been around a bit longer.
Look, I'm going to go and get my muesli and stuff, and
all right,
also
you go
phone
munch.
Toby and say, look, Hayley can't just hold up photographs of her guests. We need to see them.
Exactly, I know. I'm gutted that people can't see your beautiful bright eyes this morning, Michael.
I'm a manky jumper. Yeah.
Your manky jumper? Is it mower?
It is, but it's getting a bit sort of worn.
Okay. Well, you can say hello to my guest when she turns up at 8:30, and I'll try and jam through the rest of these events. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, see you, Hayley. Enjoy
Bye.
your coffee, by the way, and don't forget, don't let it get cold.
I won't. Thanks. All right. Music co-creation with Jonas Kokel. He heads along to Aratoi every Tuesday from 6 until 7:30 p.m. and he brings along his many instruments. He's from the Czech Republic and he just travels the world playing music. He likes to get people interacting. So he just picks up instruments from all over the show. He was in the studio a couple of weeks ago, actually. I haven't posted that video. I don't know if it did record, but if I can find it, I'll put it on our Facebook page, Wham Wairarapa. Go and like it if you haven't already. Now, Jonas is super cool. Yeah, so he's a musical therapist. He gets people involved in music, in groups. Everyone picks up an instrument and everyone makes music together. And the instruments that he chooses, that he selects, are ones that sound beautiful despite your musical playing talents. So head to Aratoi on Tuesday from 6 until 7:30 p.m. to become a co-creator of music. And Jonas provides a safe and supportive environment that encourages participants of any age group to let go of their inhibitions, relax, play, express, and have fun, and communicate through sound. So no registration is necessary. You just turn up and it's a koha donation, I guess, to join in. Mahi Toi. Now, this is an educational program happening at Aratoi on Tuesdays and I think Wednesdays and Thursdays. There's 3 sessions throughout that day, so a museum educator will be available on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays for 3 sessions a day from 9:30, 11:30 and 1:30. So Mahi Toi is an educational program for teachers and students during terms 3 and 4. And it's a unique program to learn about the local stories of the Wairarapa region through viewing taonga from the museum's collection and participating in activities designed around that taonga. So it's free of charge, this program, and schools and centres must organise their own transport to and from Aratoi. And if the teachers want to book, then for both self-guided and educator-led options, then they can visit www.schoolinterviews.co.nz, and then it says to type in the code WNACB. Let's see if I can do that in the phonetic alphabet. Whiskey, N. Oh, I can't remember A. Oh man, I'm going blank on here. CB. We're going to have to just move on, I think, because my brain's not quick enough. All right, there's an open mic night happening at the Dragon Inn. You know where the Dragon Inn is, don't you? That's in Featherston Street, next to Super Value. And it's been opened by the owners of the Welsh Dragon. Really neat. So the Dragon Inn, that is... Good morning, Anne. So the Dragon Inn is on Fitzherbert Street in Featherston, and the open mic night is every Wednesday from 7:30 until 9:30. Okay, I'll do one more event and then we'll let our guest... we'll tune our guest in. So there's life drawing. That's on Wednesday at Ventana Creative Collective from 7:30 until 9. It's $50 to head along, and you will learn to draw the human form and develop your inner artist while enjoying local beer and good company. So enjoy a Martinborough Brewery beverage of choice and some nibbles while learning to draw through multiple poses over a 1.5 hour period. And the expert tutor will be Kate Kai, and she'll go over the life drawing techniques used for centuries to describe the human form on paper. Now, ticket price, again, it's $50. That includes a Martinborough Brewery beer and nibbles, and it's the second Wednesday of every month. And if you want to head along to the life drawing class at Ventana, that's in Martinborough, then call 06 306 9488. Take a seat, Anne. Which one do you want to sit at? Yeah, that one's good. Anne, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. You've been in here before.
I have, yes.
Now it's always Anne Merrill.
Morale.
Morale.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I can't get my head around that. Morale. Yeah. And you're from Age Concern.
I am. I'm the Elder Abuse Response Coordinator at Age Concern.
Now, what are you talking about this time?
Okay, so this on 15th of June is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day.
15th of June.
The 15th of June,
Okay.
yeah. So that's next Friday. And so as part of that, I've organised a series of forums for information for some of the older people in our community. So I've got 3. And so they're going to be held at the Services Club, which is the RSA there on the corner of Essex and Chapel Street,
Yep.
from 10 till 12. So the first one I have got is what we call an introduction to advanced care planning. So it's looking at the kind of things that you're going to need as you age, the kind of care that you're going to need, making sure that you've got things like enduring power of attorney in place, so that there's somebody who you trust is able to make some decisions for you when you can't do that. Making sure that your will's up to date, that's all correct. One of the lawyers on my advisory panel has said to me that, if you don't have your will sort of up to date and stuff like that, families will end up often arguing over it, and so most of the money that was going to be inherited by anybody often gets gobbled up by the lawyer's fee. So, if you want your children to benefit from what you've earned over your lifetime, make sure that you've got all that sort of stuff sorted out first of all, because you want your children to have it, not some lawyer. Also, we're looking at. So the advanced care plan is around about, I've got somebody from Focus coming in to talk about the kind of supports that they can come to. Do you know who Focus are?
No.
So Focus are what they call the local NESC assessments, and that's the needs assessment people, so that if people, and not just older people they do, but people who need some supports because they aren't able to physically manage it themselves. So somebody from Focus is coming to talk about the kinds of supports and that they can have and how they can help. I've got a lawyer coming in to talk about the enduring power of attorney and the wills as well. I've also got David Dew, the funeral director, coming in as well. So just making sure that everything's put in place, because sadly, and the reality is that we do sometimes, as we get older, we do kind of sometimes lose some of our faculties and have this capacity to make some decisions and choice. So what you got set up before is really helpful, and it's good for your family too to know what's going on.
Exactly, but it's also good even if you're older and you haven't lost your marbles. It could be it could lessen your anxiety knowing that everything's going to be sorted when you go.
Yeah. So the second one I'm looking at, so that's on, the first one's on the 14th of June, which is like next Thursday, and so the one after that is 2 weeks later on the 28th of June, and that's looking at the different kind of scams that are around. So older people seem to be particularly targeted by people for just wanting to get their money basically. So I've got somebody from police and lawyers, and I'm hoping to get somebody from one of the local banks to come along as well, just to talk about how do you pick up when somebody's trying to scam you. So you get the telephone ones, you get the internet ones, you get people that come door to door, and also sometimes it may be people that come into your home on a legitimate purpose, but at the end of the day,
take advantage.
Yeah, take advantage. So it's just having some awareness of the kind of things to look out for, I read in the paper a few weeks ago about an elderly lady in Upper Hutt. The supermarket was there buying lots and lots of present cards, and one of the staff members asked her if these were like presents for people, and she said, "I know that somebody asked her to buy them." So that's a scam. And so these people asking people to buy the present cards, they go back home, the person who's scamming them will ring up, they only want the number of the card, they don't want the card at all, and then that lady's lost $50 or $60 or $70 worth of...
That happened. I did a story on a woman that happened to in Masterton about a year ago.
Yeah, so it seems quite innocent sometimes, but in actual fact it's still a scam, and it's illegal. So we just need people to have an understanding of what these kind of scams are and what can be done about it. I've heard of a gentleman who thinks he's a bit of a business investor, and so he's been scammed until he's got a bit of money because he thinks he's investing in a business, but he's not actually. And so It's just they just target the older people because I think they're more vulnerable and a little bit more trusting as well.
Yeah,
and
they probably don't quite have the understanding of the realms of technology that we've got these days and what can be pulled off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, it's a completely different world, isn't it? You know, even to 20 years ago, it's so different.
Yeah.
So just being aware And so then we're looking at what you can do. The police can become involved, so they'll talk about what they do. Banks can talk about what they do, and then the next one I'm having is on the 12th of July, and it's around about intimidation and bullying. So it's just around how. Just if you're in a situation where you feel like you've been not so much taken advantage of, but people are kind of telling you what you need to do, and it may be a family member, it may be, like I said before, somebody who comes into the home on a legitimate purpose. So recognising the signs of what intimidation is and what bullying is. I think last time I spoke about the tactics that people use to get you to do what you don't want to. So it's things like, well, if you don't let me do this, and you don't do this, I won't bring your grandchildren. So it's that kind of behaviour that people, for them to recognise and understand that that's what's actually going on, and it's not okay. And so, while you're able to make some choices yourself, you should be able to be respected to make those choices, and people should, but don't necessarily do so, respect that and do what you would like to do, particularly, like I said, if you know what you're doing. So I've also got the police coming along to look at that too, and once again the legal people are coming as well. So as I said, it's at the Services Club, or Club Wairarapa, or the RSA. It's kind of, I've had various names for it, but it's on the corner of Essex and Shepherd Street, 10 o'clock in the morning, from 10 till 12. And after each seminar, the people that have spoken are going to be around, so that you can go out and just chat to them for 5 or 10 minutes around about what your particular circumstances, and they can just point you in the direction of where you kind of need to go. Yeah, and sometimes, like, even just go into these things and you can think, oh, actually that's been happening to me and I didn't kind of realise this is what's going on. So it's just, heightening your awareness of what's happening.
And so it's you've got 3 of these seminars on different topics, and is it so the first one's next week?
Yeah, on the 14th of June.
On the 14th of June, which is Elder Abuse Awareness Week?
Yeah, so
Day?
Yeah. So the 15th of June is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day.
Okay.
And then they have a week of
sort of awareness activities.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's on the 15th, but your first seminar is going to be on the 14th, so next Thursday.
Yeah.
And you say it's from 10 until 12?
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, you've got the next one.
Yeah, on the 28th of June.
And then 2 weeks later, the 12th.
And so we're just asking
July.
people just to make a gold coin donation as well, so just to cover some of the costs that we've got. I have been fortunate to get some sponsorship from Gibson Sheath and from Pack and Save, so I really appreciate that they've done that for us. But I just, like, as part of my role of the Elder Abuse Response Coordinator, is just giving people the awareness of what's going on and giving them some tools about how to manage what's going on.
Yeah, because I think, like you said last time, that it's people, adult, children of older people might not realise that they're actually lots of people out there might not be aware that the elder abuse is going on, but it could be actually in a simple form where a healthy-ish sort of relationship, but I don't.
I think it's like people think, well, I'm doing this because I love my mum or my dad and I want to help them, but in actual fact, it may not be what they want to do,
and you might be taking away their independence.
Absolutely,
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right. Well, I'll put on a song and I'll just write those dates down, and then I can tell people about it next week again.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming in, Anne.
All right. You're welcome.
Can you hear the music? There must be a party nearby.
Gosh, isn't that nice? What are we listening to? That's getting me grooving in my seat. This is Down Child, and Can You Hear the Music? It's from the album Can You Hear the Music? I don't know where these guys are from, but that's grooving. Oh, maybe Toronto, Canada. That's where I think this was recorded. I don't know where the picture's gone, because otherwise you can look at the cool album cover. Okay, so we had Anne Morrell in the house just before, talking about elder abuse, World Elder Abuse Day, and some events that she's putting on in because of that, to raise awareness. Now, where am I up to? Cadbury Dairy Milk Share the Taste road trip. Now, the road trip's coming to Masterton Town Square on Thursday the 14th of June, so next Thursday from 2:30 till 5:30. New Zealanders live busy lives, so Cadbury wants to bring Kiwis together across the country to share a moment with someone they care about. The Cadbury team will spend 6 weeks road tripping throughout the country, giving Kiwis the opportunity to share Cadbury Dairy Milk together. The road trip will be hitting Masterton on Thursday the 14th of June. Head down with your friends or your colleagues, which I'll definitely do because we're just across the road from the town square, to get a taste of Cadbury Dairy Milk. Want to share a bar with your BFF, Nana, or next door neighbour? The Cadbury team will be on site personalising bars for your favourite people, so sharing is easy. At the end of the road trip, Cadbury will reveal who New Zealand's favourite person to share with is. Okay, it's quite interesting. So, yes, the Cadbury team will be at the Masterton Town Square between 2:30 and 5:30 on next Thursday. Now, psychic surgery with Jeanette Wilson. This is on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at the Masterton Motor Lodge. In this 2-hour show, Jeanette works with a team of spirit world doctors and surgeons to remove pain and restriction, often within just minutes. It's a mind-opening evening as Jeanette's guides give insights to the causation of disease and show how the human body can be healed. So clips of film from previous events and photographs of spiritual phenomenon can be seen in the Healing of Jeanette's website, www.jeanettewilson.com. This is a $30 event, and on the same night, at the same day, at the same place, at the same time, it says she's doing a seminar about listening to heaven, which is $40, and it's about love, laughter, and occasional tears as one conveys the messages you most need to hear. So, and it tells you to take along a piece of jewellery belonging to one of your loved ones. So, 2 events. I don't know if it's $40 or $30 because I don't know how these 2 things are happening at once, but go on Event Finder if you want to book your spot on this. Okay, or maybe you could get in touch with the Masterton Motor Lodge, or you could Google Jeanette Wilson and see a little bit more about her. Okay, moving on. The Charles Rooking Carter Awards. This happens in Carterton every year, I think. The Charles Rooking Carter Awards, celebrating Carterton's coolest people. The Charles Rooking Carter Community Awards was created by the Carterton District Council in 1994 to publicly acknowledge and celebrate the outstanding volunteer work, business innovation and achievements of members of the community. To date, over 130 Charles Rooking Carter Community Awards have been given to people who generously provide time, passion and commitment to making Carterton a caring and thriving place to live. Doors open at 6 p.m. on Friday the 15th of June. So that's next week. Next Friday, Carterton Event Centre, 6 p.m, complimentary drink on arrival. It's $30 for a seat, allocated seating. And awards begin at 7 p.m. There's a 2-course meal and a guest speaker. So if you want to book your spot, maybe call the council, the Carterton District Council, and say you want to head along to the Charles Rocking-Carter Awards next Friday. Okay, I'm going to have to sign off very soon. Those are next Friday, so we won't talk about them until next week. Now, just to remind you also that the Matariki movement, we had cuts to Te Tau from Whaiora talk with us last week. I've just posted up that interview onto our WAM Facebook page, so check that out if you want to hear about all of the free movement classes that are happening in Masterton over the Matariki period. So I think those classes kick off maybe next week and they run for a month, I believe, every Tuesday maybe. But listen to that. Watch the last week's WAM. Listen to the podcast or watch it on Wairarapa TV or click on it on their Facebook page and you'll know where to be at what time. Now, the weather. The situation. The southerly flow eases in eastern parts of the North Island today as a ridge of high pressure spreads onto the country for the weekend. Wairarapa regional forecast today. Showers becoming isolated in the morning, then clearing and becoming fine in the afternoon. Southerlies gradually dying out. Tomorrow, fine with morning frosts. Northwesterlies developing in the morning, becoming strong in exposed places in the evening. And then on Sunday, cloudy periods, a few late showers in the south, and northwesterlies dying out. In Masterton today, we're looking at a high of 12. Tomorrow, Saturday, we've got a morning low of -1 and then a high of 14. Fine, early frosts, northwesterlies developing in the morning. Sunday, we've got a morning low of 7. Well, that's a jump from -1, isn't it? And then a high of 16 and cloudy periods, northwesterlies dying out. Now, in Dannevirke, we've got a high of 10 today. Masterton a high of 12. Featherston a high of 11. Wellington has a high of 12 and it looks like some drizzle. Parapara Umu, there's a high of 13. And Palmerston North also has a high of 13. Okay, well, you've been listening to WAM Wairarapa. It's a weekly events show and it's on Friday mornings at 8 a.m. and it's sponsored by Trust House. So thanks a lot, Trust House, for bringing people this show. You can get our podcast off the Arrow FM website later today when it's uploaded, or you can watch us on Wairarapa TV, Freeview Channel 41 later today when it's broadcast, and then that'll also be on YouTube, and I'll post that today's show up when I can get around to it on our Facebook page. So thanks so much for tuning in. You've been, putting up with me, Hayley Gastmeyer. Really do appreciate your company, and if you want to get in touch with me, you should message me on WAM Wairarapa's Facebook page. All right, have a safe weekend and a lovely week, and I'll be back again next Friday at 8 a.m-ish to tell you what's happening in this awesome region. Ka kite.